Hello, Sanibonani, beautiful people. Welcome to Breakfast Show Yantambama, the only show that recognizes that it is breakfast somewhere, but it is Ntambama somewhere else. Thank you so much for making time to click and join us. We absolutely love you and we appreciate you. And as you join, please let me know where you are watching us from. Let me know where you are joining us from, which part of the world. Drop a flag. Drop a flag. Let us see where you are from, and we're going to try and guess where you are from, which country you are from. Welcome to Breakfast Yantambama. Welcome to Travel Tuesday. Let's talk travel. Let's talk about traveling. They say black people don't go on holiday. They say we go home. How true is that? Is that true that we don't go on holiday, we go home? You see it in major cities. For example, if you go to Johannesburg around December, there's nobody. The streets are empty. People are home. You ask people, they've gone back to their respective provinces, their respective cities. But why don't we go on holiday? I know when I say black people, I don't mean everyone. Personally, I go on holiday, but the majority of us don't go on holiday. Firstly, it's sometimes the finances, sometimes it's just imposter syndrome, sometimes we are just scared, we think we cannot afford it, and sometimes we just have no one to go with. So, good afternoon, Sanibonani, Dumilang, Goeienaand, good evening from wherever you are joining us. Let's talk about traveling. It is Travel Tuesday. Every Tuesday, siyahamba, we travel. Sometimes by plane, sometimes by train, sometimes by bus, sometimes by taxi, and sometimes by imagination. Because have you seen the price of flights? Have you seen how expensive it is to travel? If you are joining us for the first time, you are welcome. My name is Tenjiwe. I am a stand-up comedian and content creator based in the UK. Originally, I am from South Africa, proudly South African. And this is our little corner of the internet where we talk about what's happening in the world, what's happening with our money, what's happening in our lives, and occasionally what's happening with people who clearly woke up and chose the letter V in the alphabet. There are people who just wake up and choose violence. Their favorite word is nonsense. And because we are international, as you join us, you can drop a flag of the country that you are watching from. And don't even tell us the country, just drop a flag. Let's see if the rest of us passed our geography classes in school. And if nobody guesses your country, please don't. Uh, sorry, I received a call and it's disturbed us just a little bit. So as you drop your flags, and we know some flags are very difficult and some flags look very similar. And for those of us who went to schools without textbooks and without computers, where things had to be drawn on the board, our knowledge of flags heavily rely on whether our teachers were good in arts or not. And in most cases, no, they were not. But I want to start Travel Tuesday with one important message. You do not have to be rich to travel. A lot of people assume you have to be rich to travel. You do not have to be rich to travel. I think social media has made traveling look like it's some luxury fashion show. Everyone is filming content at the airport lounge, carrying their designer suitcase, flying business class, staying in a 5-star hotel, like breakfast floating in the swimming pool. Everyone is just doing content that makes you think you will never afford to travel in your lifetime. Like, why is my breakfast swimming? I'm just trying to eat eggs, man. I mean, why are my eggs doing breaststrokes when I can't even do basic swimming? So travel doesn't have to look like Instagram. Travel can be backpacking. Travel can be staying in a hostel. Travel can be done by bus, by train. You can be in a shared taxi. It can be just a weekend. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks. It doesn't have to be 25 days. It can be a neighboring country. You don't have to go to a country whose name you can't even pronounce. You can start just by going to different provinces around your country and go to neighboring countries. Sometimes the adventure you're dreaming about is not like 50,000 rands away. It's not 3,000 pounds away. Sometimes it's just 360 rands away. I always tell people, just get that first stamp on your passports. Sometimes it's a choice between paying 360 rands, get on a taxi, go to Eswatini for a weekend, or use it to buy ciders. Same amount. You decide what you want to do with it. Doesn't have to be luxury. You can wait. The time for luxury travel will come. But just start. Just start. There are neighboring countries where you don't even need to fly, where you can take a taxi, where you can take a bus. Let's talk about passports. Do you even have a passport? I get a lot of people thinking, oh, you're lucky, you get to travel a lot. Do you even have a passport? What if an opportunity came knocking? What if I came to you after this show and said, let's go somewhere? Will you be ready? Do you have a passport? I think a passport is now about 800 rands in South Africa, and it will last you for 10 years. That's like less than 80 pounds per year. Not 80 pounds, even 80 rands, less than 80 rands per year. That's less than 8 pounds, 8 rands. That's less than 8 rands per month. 800 rands, you get your passport, it will last you 10 years. So that when the opportunity presents itself, you are ready. Have your passport ready. Go and apply for a passport. You just need your to identify who you are. You don't need proof of travel. A passport is not a visa. You don't need proof of funds. You don't need anything to show that you are really going to use it to travel the next week. No. Just have your passport. Get your passport. Because when the opportunity presents itself, you want to be ready. And there are so many visa-free destinations from every country. I'm from South Africa, so I know a lot of visa-free countries from South Africa for South Africans, for people who hold South African passports. Fortunately, I'm a dual citizen. I also hold a British passport. I'm a British citizen as well. So I get a lot of visa-free travel, which makes life a lot easier. Especially when it comes to last-minute booking. You see a special, you can book, you can go. But imagine seeing a special, you can't even book because you don't have a passport. So have a passport ready. There are so many visa-free destinations. You are watching this on the internet. You can Google visa-free destinations from your country. Apply for your passports. Most banks now take applications for passports and for IDs. The big question is, how do you save money? How to save money for travel. I'll share with you how I personally prioritize travel. How do you travel while you are African? What's the difference between going home and going on holiday? I receive so many questions from people. I receive so many letters, inboxes, messages. I receive so much from people wanting to know about traveling. But the first thing I always ask, do you have a passport? And how to make a WhatsApp group work. If you open a travel WhatsApp group, I'll tell you how me and my friends and I make it work. Because so often these WhatsApp groups end up just as that. So those of you who've just joined us, welcome, welcome. Welcome to a breakfast show, Yantambama. We welcome you with love. And don't forget to drop your flag. Drop your flag. Let us see. So in the meantime, let me take you to the news. Let me take you to the news. A portion of South African business owners have conveyed their disappointment in the government's lack of support for their businesses. 28-Hour News spoke to one such business person. We believe that the government should intervene because this year the business has been going very, very bad for us. Usually our business is booming, we are doing well, but the government is not helping us because since the beginning of the year, we are not able to sell enough stuff. People, sometimes we are losing customers because of the church. People are dying and the church is waking them up. For us, that is money being lost. Like this year, I have been selling like 2-3 caskets per week. On a normal South African business week, I usually sell 50-60 caskets per week. But now we are really suffering and we are pleading with the government. Please, sir, please, Mr. President, do something to help our business to regain its strength, because there is no way we can go on operating when we are selling 2-3 caskets per week. We need more business, we need more money. We are also pleading with the Minister of Police to stop interfering when people are doing things that are creating business for us. Because when they interfere, it means no business for us. We are really, really begging the government and also the churches. If you know a pastor who is good, who can pray, please ask them to pray for our businesses. As the mortuary owners of South Africa, we need your prayers so that our business can keep booming, we can keep getting clients, we can keep getting customers. Otherwise, we won't be able to operate. And without us, what will happen to the country? Please, please help us. We are back. Breakfast show, Yantambama, the afternoon breakfast show, the early evening breakfast show, because it is breakfast somewhere and it is Ntambama somewhere else. I heard that in South Africa, it is snowing in parts of South Africa. So guys, please stay warm. Please stay warm. And it is windy in parts of the country. Don't let the wind blow you into other people's partners. I know you guys. You can easily be blown by the wind to other people's partners. So be well behaved. Stay well behaved. Going back to traveling, let's talk about traveling. What is happening? And it's so funny that it's snowing in South Africa and it is so hot in England right now. Even right now, I am sweating. It is so hot. It is about 5 to 8 in the evening, but the sun is still out. It is so hot. British people are outside enjoying every second of it because they know this thing can disappear by tomorrow morning. And meanwhile, in South Africa, it just winds, and in parts of the country have had snow. The way the planet is doing things, it's things are changing. Things are not the same anymore. Things are not the same. Let me know where you are and how is the weather where you are. How is the weather where you are watching from? So let's talk about traveling while you are African. Traveling while African. I had somebody say something that made me laugh. And it's not just one person, it's something people say all the time. Africans don't go on holiday, we go home. It happens here in the diaspora. Come December, come August, when the kids are off school, people go home. We go back to our respective countries. People who work in other cities far away from home, they go back to their home cities. We go back to be with our families. Because when you live away from home and people ask you, where are you going for your holiday? The answer is home. I'm the same. I go home at least 4 times a year. I go home, but I still manage to do some holidays in between. And for me, my story is different because I am fortunate enough to have a job that gives me a lot of traveling opportunities. So with my job, I get to travel a lot. So going home, is it different from going on holiday? For most of us, it's not, because when we are home on holiday, we wake up whenever we want. We wake up around people we love. We get to go out for breakfast with friends. We go to the beach. We go for cocktails. We take a nap whenever we want. Home is a holiday place for a lot of people. Doing the rounds to go and see your aunties. Saturday, there's a wedding. Sunday, you're going to church. Monday, you are visiting Gogo. Tuesday, everybody's coming to see you. Is that really a holiday? Is that really going on holiday? I'm not even complaining, because that's part of the beauty of going home. You reconnect with people, you laugh with people, you eat food that you missed, you see people that you love, you remember who you are. But let's admit it. It is not going on holiday. Going home is not going on holiday. Sometimes you need annual leave after your annual leave. And the thing with going home is you go home with an African suitcase. Because traveling while you're African has its own logistics. Starting with the baggage allowance, the airline says 23 kg. And most of us will avoid the direct flights, especially from London, because most direct flights only allow one piece of luggage. If you want more than one, you have to pay extra. So most of us will go with the airlines that go via, which means you're adding more hours into your travel just because you want to take an extra suitcase. And usually that extra suitcase doesn't have any of your things. It has things you're taking either from friends who are already here, taking to their families, or you're taking for yourself to take to your own people back home. African families don't have a 23 kg, approximately 35. That's where we start. You always see us at the airports packing and unpacking and unpacking and packing and putting the suitcases on the scale and unpacking again and packing again. Already before the holiday even starts, you are stressing. As you leave your house to go to the airport, anxiety number 1 is already dealing with you. and you leave England with one suitcase, you return with something that should probably have its own registration number. And we always act surprised when we get to check in and they tell us that our luggage is 28 kg. And that's when the repacking ceremony begins at airports. Open the suitcase, underwear exposed to the international community. Shoes are coming out, something moving in the hand luggage. You put another jacket on, then another jacket on. You put your wedding hat on. You boarding a flight to Durban like you are going to Antarctica. At least now you have an excuse. You can say it's snowing in South Africa. And our hand luggage, why is it always weighing the 23 kg that we're supposed to check in? Yeah. We need to do better. And then the gifts that you have to take home. The minute you mention I'm coming home, the orders start opening. You become Amazon. Bring me a perfume. Please bring me trainers. Please bring this for my child. Please bring me this medication. Like, seriously? Who told people that things are free when you live away from home? And there'll be even people asking you to just bring them anything. And then if you bring them socks, the face changes. But they said everything or anything. They said anything. So what can we do so that we can also go on holiday? I know so many people who've lived abroad who even have dual citizenships. If you ask them which countries they've visited, they'll say countries where they transited. They never touched the soil. They never left the airports. They transited. They will count those countries as countries they've visited. If you are transiting, you are not visiting. Don't count that country. But how do we make it easy to do? How do we travel smart? How do you have a champagne holiday on a beer budget? Let's talk about something that people always ask me. Because a lot of people see me traveling and then they assume, Tenjiwe has money. No. Number one, as I've said before, I'm very fortunate. My job gives me a lot of travel. A lot of it is free. Some of it I have to pay for, but my job gives me a lot of travel. A lot of my traveling opportunities have come from the work I chose to do, which is a stand-up comedian. Comedy has taken me places. Work has taken me places I didn't even know existed. Being a content creator has taken me places. So I acknowledge that. But there's another part that you can also do, which is priorities. There are so many things that a lot of people spend money on. And for me, I just look at them and think, that's a flight. You show me a lace wig. Me, I'm thinking, that 15,000 rand is a nice return flight to New York from Johannesburg. I've got friends who say they can't afford to travel, yet they're wearing a 25,000 rand wig. They are doing their nails every week. They are paying professional makeup artists thousands of rands or hundreds of pounds. Like, and my average professional makeup in England is 200, 250. If you go up north, if you are lucky, you get someone for 150 pounds just to put peanut butter on your face. to go to someone else's celebration. With me, when I look at the 250, I'm thinking a nice weekend away, somewhere nice in Europe, flights, hotel included. So sometimes it is just priorities. When you say 15,000 rand, suddenly I do not see here. I don't care how nice your lace wig is. I'm just thinking Johannesburg to New York return. You see a lace frontal. I see Manhattan. You see 30 inches. I see Times Square. Somebody tells me I'm going to a party and my hair appointment and my wig appointment and my face beads appointment. And I'm just counting the pounds and counting the rands and converting and thinking, for somebody else's birthday, I don't see a foundation. I see a weekend in Europe. I see flights, I see hotels, I see breakfast, maybe even change. Now, don't go and say, Tenjo said, don't buy wigs. I did not. I also like to look good. I also do my lady maintenance. Buy your wigs, buy your makeup, buy your shoes, buy your bags. But think about what else you can do with that money. Think about priorities. We just value different things. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with valuing what you value. We just value different things because money is all about choices. I love experiences. I love memories. I love seeing new places. So I prioritize travel. And how do you make travel cheaper? For the most part, travel off peak. It tends to be more expensive during peak hours, like the peak holidays, school holidays, when they know families are going to be traveling with children. Children are at home with schools being closed. So those tend to be more of the expensive times. So if your life allows it, don't automatically travel when everybody else travels. Compare dates. There's so many websites. I use this website like Skyscanner a lot. I use iTravel from A and they will compare dates and tell you which dates, like you choose a month, and then it will tell you which date that month the tickets are the cheapest. And moving your journey by a few days can make a big difference. Compare airports as well. Some airports are more expensive than others. I've noticed that, especially in Britain. Sometimes leaving from another airport is cheaper, but also calculate the transport to that airport. Because sometimes what you save on the flights, you end up spending to get to that airport, or you end up getting a 6 a.m. flight, which means you have to travel from home the night before, book a hotel locally, and then it doesn't make sense. So always calculate that as well. Because once if you are saving £50 on a flight, but paying £70 on a taxi to get to the airport, that's not a bargain. It's just financial self-deception. And also check the final airline prices. The budget airlines love the 99, 1999, 29.99. You get excited. Then by the time you add your bag, £35. Your seats, £12. Priority boarding, £18. Cabin luggage, £30. By the time you are finished, you've bought the whole plane. You could have just bought a nicer, more premium ticket for a better airline. So always compare the final price, not just the advertised price. When it comes to accommodation, you don't have to sleep next to the tourist attraction. Look for somewhere safe with a good public transport, especially in first world countries. Europe is very good with public transport. Look for somewhere where you can commute, where you can travel, because sometimes central places can be expensive. If you're traveling as a single person, if you're traveling as a group of friends, you don't need a five-star hotel. You can book a hostel, especially you younger guys. You can do it cheap, backpack, travel with a backpack, put everything you need, which I think is hard now because you want to be taking social media content everywhere you go. And there's so many free things you can do in many countries. There's so many free things you can do. There are free museums, there are parks, there are markets, there are beaches, there are walking routes if you like going for walks, there are public buildings, there are views that are just there for you to enjoy. So some of the travel experiences don't have to cost you anything. They are free. Another thing that I avoid is airport spending. Unless I'm in a lounge, I avoid spending at the airports because airport prices can humble you. You buy one sandwich and one bottle of water, like you're paying right price for the king's daughter. That can be so expensive. You'll be asking yourself, does my stomach come with shares of the airports because they charge a lot? Bring your own water, bring your bottle of water. Most of them have fountains once you go inside. So don't make it expensive for yourself. Know your budget, know your limits. And also, it's very important to have a daily budget if you want to have a good holiday. Have a daily budget so that you know exactly how much you are spending. So by day 4, you are not broke. You are not operating at zero. I usually save the money for the luxurious spending towards the end of my holidays because just in case of emergencies, I'll have my champagne at the end. Thank you very much. And you must always be prepared to have money for taxis and money just for emergencies. Anything can happen. You may need to go back home and you may need to change your tickets. You may need to, you may maybe have a medical scare or medical. There's so many things can happen. And it's okay to sit in a hotel and eat your supermarket bread. You don't have to have 5 star. It's good if you can afford it. But if you're budgeting on it, if you're traveling on a budget, don't compare your traveling with people who have a better budget than you. So now let's just do something practical. Find your passport. If you don't, the first money you must save is money to apply for your passport. Apply for passport, have a passport. Then next time we come and talk about traveling, next time we do travel Tuesday, you already have a passport. If you do have a passport, do you know when it expires? Do you know how many pages are left? Some of them are sitting under the mattress with birth certificates and matric certificates, old bank statements, old photos from 2006, photos of your ex sitting there with your passports. So find your passport, check the expiry date. And remember that there's no single 6-month entry rule for every country. Every country has different rules, different different passport validity requirements. So always check your validity of your passport. It's so sad when we see people being returned just because they don't have 2 blank pages on their passports, or their passports expires 2 days before they are meant to return. And it's like, nah, you can't. So always check the passport validity of the country you intend to visit. There are so many different rules. And don't forget to check which countries you can visit visa free. Most countries have countries they can visit visa free. Most of them are visa on arrival, or you can apply for an e-visa, which you can do from the comfort of your own home office or whatever, using your own phone. You can apply while you are in a taxi going to work. So don't just check whether your passport is still technically valid. Also check the requirements for the specific country that you are visiting. And always, always, always use the official immigration, embassy, or government information before traveling. Don't just rely on information you ask people. Laws change, rules change. I may be giving you information based on what was the correct thing when I went to that country, but things may have changed. So always do your own research. Right now, things are so accessible because you can just go online. Don't rely on me telling you, my cousin went there in 2018, this is what they required. My cousin is not the Department of Home Affairs. And also remember that visa-free does not mean question-free. For example, South Africans, we can visit a number of destinations without obtaining a traditional visa in advance, subject to each country's current conditions. That makes regional travel particularly interesting. We have so many countries that are surrounding us that we can visit, but we also have a lot of international countries that we have treaties with that we can visit. Sadly, some of them have stopped us because of people faking South African passports to travel to countries, and we've lost a lot of our visa-free countries, but we still have some. But always check before you book, because visa policies change. Entry conditions change. Length of stay length of stay rules differ. And visa-free does not mean requirement-free. Immigration can still ask you about your accommodation, where you're going to be staying, onward travel, funds. Before you even enter, they may ask you, how do you intend to support yourself during your holiday, during your stay? There may be other entry requirements on the destination. So always check, always look. And there are so many countries, guys, you can visit for free. And for me, I know a lot of you start with a WhatsApp group. Oh, friends, let's go, let's do this. For me, I no longer do those WhatsApp groups because they always end up not happening. So for me, before we even decide where we're going, if you want to enter the WhatsApp group, you want to go on holiday, before we start agreeing on a mutual time that we can all be available to travel, before we all agree on a destination, deposit. You must put at least 2,000 rands or 200 pounds to join the WhatsApp group. Because it's always the people with no intention of traveling who always have negative things to say that will make the group never move from discussion. You'll be discussing all the time, and nothing will ever come of it. Nothing will ever come of it. So you need to be making sure that people commit. For me and my friends, you have to commit. No commitment, I put a deposit. Without a deposit, we don't need you in the WhatsApp group. Doesn't have to be 2,000 rands, doesn't have to be 200 pounds. It can be a deposit of, it can be anything. For example, let's just say you live in South Africa, in Durban, and you are deciding with your friends, oh, let's go to Eswatini, 100 rands deposit. If you end up not going, you lose it. But that shows commitment, so that you are discussing this thing with people who prioritize the travel, who really want to go. Otherwise, you will end up never leaving the WhatsApp group. Next thing, you'll be using the same WhatsApp group to plan a baby shower. And if you have money, if you have a passport that allows you, for me, I have found that last minute booking works very well in terms of being cheap, but I only do it if I don't care where I am going. If I have a specific place to get to, I will always book in advance. But if I'm just like, I just need a weekend away, sometimes I buy my ticket on my way to the airport, and I usually find the cheapest option. And I've done the ones where you book a surprise holiday. You don't know where you're going until you get to the airport and check in, and then they tell you your destination. I love those. And when you get there, you don't know where you're staying until you get there. And then, oh, it's so nice. I love those. But I am a risk taker. I am a risk taker. So I do that, but I'm not saying you should, but me, I do. And some of you are playing Stockfell Sochwal, just for alcohol. You should look into playing Stockfell for other things. Travel Stockfell with your friends. Play travel Stockfell. And when you travel, make sure you have your travel insurance. Make sure it's Ebolethu is in order, so that you can be repatriated if things happen. Because those are things we often not talk about when we talk about traveling. Things can happen. Make sure you have travel insurance, but always check with your bank first, because so many people are paying for travel insurance when they don't need to, when their bank cards, their accounts already offer the travel insurance services. Always check with your bank account. Always check as well if your bank account is the type that gives you free lounge. Because sometimes you have free lounges and you don't even know. You are busy sitting in my benching like you are at Kwamasho Polyclinic, when you can be accessing a lounge just with your bank account. So always check those things. Always make sure you check and do not end up buying things you already have, things you already qualify for. And don't forget that there are people who are willing to travel. Just because your friends are not interested doesn't mean you should also not be interested. I have met so many people through traveling. I've made so many friends. I remember the first time I went to Brussels, I went to visit a friend I had met on Facebook, and such a lovely family they were. We are still friends up to this day. And I've been to so many countries with people I met online. I've made so many friends. When I was younger, I used to go on the group travels. I remember once I came to England and I saw this advert for travel to France. It was a coach travel. And I was like, oh, definitely I'm going. I booked, I paid, they were like OAP, travel. I paid, I was so happy when I got there. I was the youngest. I think the youngest after me was maybe 82. I didn't know at that time that OAP stood for old age people, but I had the best time. I had the time of my life, the stories. And I was just telling them, oh, I'm also 79. And they'll be like, oh, but you don't look it. I was like, black don't crack. And they believed me. But it was so nice. It was the best thing. So sometimes just take a risk. Don't wait for your friends. Don't wait because the person you are dating is scared of flying. Now you must never fly. Prioritize. When you are ready, I promise you, it will happen. When you are ready, it will happen. I was trying to see the messages, but I cannot. I was going to put them on the screen, but because I'm using the phone, it's a bit complicated. But yeah, traveling is a beautiful thing. Do travel, find people with similar interest. Obviously, do it safe, but never think you cannot do it. We have so many countries we can visit, and even within our own province. In KZN, I'm from KwaZulu Natal. Don't know what Natal is doing in that name, but KwaZulu. And guys, we have so many beautiful places that we need to visit. Go to Kuhlue. And it will start from there. Go to the local places. Go to Kuhlue. Go to Mpumalanga. Go to Eswatini. And then the travel bug will just bite you, and then you will start traveling. And also look for jobs that give you opportunities to travel. There are people who even do content online. You don't even have to know someone who's done it. Just go on TikTok. Don't just be watching funny videos. Also go and Google how to get jobs overseas as a South African. Some of you are sitting with good degrees that can take you around the world. Don't just look for jobs locally. Don't just look for opportunities locally. There are so many people who are willing to help. You go on all these social media apps, there's always someone who's teaching people how to do this, how to travel to this country, how to get this. Go and watch those videos. You have nothing to lose. So many people have traveled and gone overseas because of that. At the same time, so many people we've sent links to and they never even apply. They're like, I mean, I thought they already know who they want. It's so far. I mean, I didn't think I would quite. Try, apply, try. There are so many people doing cruise ships. Even me at my age, I would go and be a waitress in a cruise ship just to travel and see the world. There are so many opportunities that are out there. So what? You are young, you finished matric, you don't have a child, you didn't get a place at uni, or you still haven't decided what you want to do. Go become an au pair. Go and travel. Being an au pair was one of the best opportunities I ever had in life because I got to travel, I got to see the world, I got to meet people and make friends with people from around the world. So don't look just for local opportunities. But most importantly, right now, what you need to do is make sure, get a passport, because that's already communicating to the universe to say, I'm ready. That way, if and when the opportunity comes, it will find you ready. Imagine saying you want to travel, opportunity comes, you don't even have a passport. Get a passport and just have it. 10 years. So what, you don't have money now? What makes you think it will be your money that you will travel with? You never know. God will send an angel. But if they find you and you are not prepared, you don't even have a passport, we can't help you. We cannot help you. Anyway, guys, and I love you and I wish you nothing but the best. This is Breakfast Show Yantambama, and I want you to take your traveling very seriously. Start now, start working on it, start getting your passports, go and find out, save your money, save money to just have a passport. That's where it starts. You need to support your dreams. If you have a passport, I promise you, the opportunities will come for you to use it. But you have to show the universe that you are also prepared to do something. You are also doing something. You can't just be like, I want to travel and then not doing anything. You can't. God didn't bring you here to just be a ishtade, aibo. So many people fought for you to have the rights and privileges you have today. And when now you want to live the rest of your life, hi guys, we can do better. You don't have to live the rest of your life in Soweto, in Guamashu. There are so many opportunities. And it's not that people get these opportunities because they are better than you. No, they are not better than you. They just believe themselves and they work towards their dreams. That is what is the difference. That's what the difference is. So anyway, Kumulelana, lovely, lovely, lovely catching up. And I will be back tomorrow with a breakfast show, Yantambama, and I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Business Wednesday. We will be talking business. Do send me your messages, leave your comments, and let me know what else you would like to talk about. We'll be back with Travel Tuesday next week. And next week, Tuesday, I am doing these Monday to Friday until the end of August. It is Women's Month. Let us empower each other. Let us learn from each other. And I love you guys. I wish you nothing but the best. See you at the airport. See you at the lounge. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Subscription is free. Mahala.